Previously on OATHSWORN.
Aisling, you're good at swimming, right?
They are like tossing things to try and get your attention. Like, hey, over here!
Is this someone we recognize or is just a stranger?
Nabane sees them go and realizes almost instantly afterwards, like, this is a bad idea.
Aisling, you want to open that door?
Yeah, that's a wreck.
I mean, given what I know of Aisling, it sounds like a wreck.
Yeah, whacking at a rusty door with a crowbar.
Okay.
And I'm not getting anything from the rookies, am I?
Yeah, I think this is just Aisling at this point.
I think maybe they were set up to help you in the way you described, Devin, but then the whole things with the worms happened. And them getting like pushed away by Nabane and Nabane getting all fucked up and Waloot and the other rookie having to come and like get Nabane. And so now they're just like floundering.
Okay, so now I'm just like, shit. I need to get us a way out.
Yeah. Okay. Risky standard.
Risky standard.
I have a pitch for how Waloot can help.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I think that she comes down, grabs Nabane, starts pulling him out, sees you, and like without even thinking of it, she stretches out her hand to try to like help you, and her hand stretches too far, and it like becomes white and long, like that like star figure that I posted in Touchstones, and she like helps grab the door open with you, and I'm gonna mark a corruption to help.
Sounds great.
Does that work for you, Brendan?
Absolutely.
Cool. I'm at a third die. Sticking at
Great.
risky standard. Let's go. 5.
Okay. Door opens. Water pours through. Spills out. Strange growths and weird pale worms flop on the dry surface. Both of you gasp at air. And you have found your way into the vault. But I think this has, again, taken time.
Right.
And I'm going to tick the Lyceum Destroyed clock twice.
I think that's fine. At this point,
Is that 3 out of 12? It could certainly be worse.
we at least made it here. You know?
Do we
That's
see
not a
any
challenge.
like evidence of that on screen?
Yeah.
The water ripples.
The water ripples.
the Tyrannosaurus
ceiling,
cup.
The ceiling crumbles away. And Aisling hears the howl above. And his eyes go red.
Ooh.
And they lick their teeth.
Just cool people squad over here.
Yeah. Just super
Two
good.
cool soldiers.
you got the very just the doing fine group over there.
It's Shark them, and Star them.
Uh-huh.
Stargirl.
Yeah, I
Is Waloot not
Well,
she,
it's
they?
she,
Oh, no,
them.
yeah, just she, her. Okay.
I'm wondering how Aisling feels in this moment, because like I'm feeling like I'm moving farther from my prey.
Shall we jump back to Lark and Nikolaj?
Yes.
Sure.
What do you do?
So Lark disappeared from where person throwing stuff at her. Are they still have the
I think
tall
Lark's
friends?
Lark's ability usage there diverted attention from both Lark and whoever was throwing that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think that's fair to say.
I'd like to appear behind that person, grab their mouth.
Yeah, 100%.
Good.
Cool. Have you ever been to the Capitol?
Yeah, Lark was born there.
Spectacular. This person is dressed as one of the fucking guards from the Capitol. There's like 4 or 5 other folks that are like on this platform that are all wearing the same uniform. They're sort of like huddled against the far wall. This person has sort of come to the ledge. They're like kind of lanky, slicked back, black hair, kind of dark skin, very like bright eyes, deeply surprised, but also kind of delighted that you're like here, like like taps your hand as if they're like tapping out of a fight.
Yeah, I think she lets. And she's like covered in sewage, so
Of course,
yeah,
Really
just
gross.
leaves a mark on
Boy.
his face and lets go.
Yeah, my face cast for this person is Danny Putty.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
Great.
The
Great.
the comedian.
He's
Yeah?
on DuckTales.
Oh, I was
He's
thinking of
He's Abed.
Okay.
He's Abed
I
from
was thinking
Community.
of a
If you-
different-
Yeah.
person. Okay, Danny Putty. Cool.
Yeah. And just like in a very excited but very, very, very quiet, like, oh, I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad. I wasn't sure if they were going to send anyone to rescue us. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm Lieutenant Farzival. I'm pleased to meet you. Thank you very much. Like sort of like mimes like a little bit of a salute. And it's like, I would love to know what the plan is for like evacuating our unit from this from this place quickly, please, right away.
Well, I spent my 1 scrounge already, so good luck, buddy. I don't have Does this guy know military sign language? He's a cop, not a
I don't know.
mercenary.
Hang on. Let me fortune roll here.
I'm gonna
I mean-
sign like something. Like, do you speak? Do you understand?
Mm.
He shrugs as loudly as you can shrug.
Oh dear.
I don't know what you just did. Did you just cast a spell on me?
Just raises my shoulders
Oh
and
my
lets
God.
them drop. Okay.
Are you? She's a wizard. She's gonna teleport us out of here.
Can I like assess this hidey hole that they figured out? Like, is there a path like that I could lead them through?
I mean, they're in like a reading room, sort of like shored up. They look as though they've been there for at least a week. They're in kind of rough condition, but they're like none of them are like at death's door. They look as though you could probably discipline them into doing something. They just don't know where to go or lack the means of like getting where it is that they need to go in order to escape.
I do not have discipline.
There's just a visual of like when you started hearing the noise of like stuff being thrown and like, hey, like from upstairs, Nikolaj just like hides behind a tower of books and now it's gone quiet again. He's just like peeking out, going like, what the fuck is happening? Oh, no idea what's going on.
I can lead a group with, if I'm doing it with them, with a specific action, right?
Absolutely, 100%.
So I could scout or maneuver this group out of here.
Yeah.
I guess we're trying to get to the center pillar. Like, we don't have to go all the way down. We just the center pillar has an elevator. It goes all the way up, yeah?
It does. It doesn't have entries at each junction. I think you would have to lead them either up or down in addition to towards the center.
Okay. And I'm guessing these astroneers are above and below?
So far as you can tell, yeah.
Right. I am cold, but the Marshal really could use some more rookies.
I mean, cold can mean calculating.
Yeah.
Debane's going to go through a few rookies. I should get some more.
Oh, the problem is he wouldn't go through the rookies.
That's true.
Nabane and everyone else is dead. I should probably restock.
Oh no.
Not incorrect.
Yeah. A very Oregon Trail.
Well, this is exactly what the last 3 missions for her have been. It's like everything goes to shit. She and Nikolaj are the only people who come out unscathed. and they're not even unscathed. They come out alive.
Yeah. Are you going to try and lead them up or down?
I think I'm going to lead down because going downstairs is easier than going upstairs.
That's valid.
Is there any position or effect difference between scout or maneuver? I've got the same in both.
I think scout is more appropriate here because you're trying to find a place that they can climb. At the same time, I think this is risky limited because it's a big ask.
All right, I'm gonna.
Sounded like Nikolaj wanted to help.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's a way he can from down below. Can he try to, let's see what's in this soldier's kit. I always forget what is in every single kit. Okay, if there's a bedroll in the soldier's kit, can he try to lay that out? If he sees them starting to make their way down, can he lay that out as a place that they could fall silently because he sees those people and is just no, they look like me. They look like they're going to fall.
No, because it's ankle deep water.
Oh, shoot, right.
Yeah.
And also, we're several stories up by now. Am I trying to get
At
to the
least,
bottom floor? Or?
Yeah, I think you're not that many stories, but I think you're at least 30 feet up.
Yeah, okay.
Oof.
So it's either trying to get to the top floor or trying to get to the bottom floor is what you were asking.
No, the top floor is way higher.
Okay. Yeah, we're still trying to get to the bottom floor. That's where
100%.
Nikolaj is too. So
yeah.
I'm going to push myself for an extra die, and I'm going to make this desperate standard. The illusion of choice.
Mm-hmm.
What's a devil option?
Your devil option is... I will introduce a new clock. I will not tick it.
Can I ask how big this clock is going to be, or do I just have to accept it?
No, you can ask. It is six steps.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, good.
46 desperate standard.
Get that XP.
Crit.
Wow.
Hey!
That's 2 6s.
Wow!
Incredible.
Look at
That's your
that!
second crit, right, Gavin?
I'm dabbing.
Wow!
down.
2 6s. Out of 4.
Dabbing.
That's
I like that's like a nasty sandwich. It's 6 2 3 6.
Yeah.
The filling isn't so good, but the crust is great.
a critical hit, also known as the nasty sandwich.
That is it's a great phrase.
Mercy. Okay, yeah. You lead these capital guards all the way down with complete success.
And they love you.
They think you're the coolest thing in the entire world.
You're a wizard. You're an assassin. What's not to like?
Who she is as a person.
Damn.
As you're sliding down one of these ropes, you see what looks like it would be a window if it looked outside, except it just sort of looks to the inside of the wall. It's almost like there's an access panel to the wall or something like that, and something slithers past. And by slithers past, I mean something moves past like a person-sized gap in the wall that takes up at least the whole height of the panel.
This is fine. This is fine.
Sure.
Nikolaj, there are now more people down here on the floor.
Yep, great. Nikolaj, probably asking pulling Lark over to the side. Are we bringing them with us?
Just signs, yes.
Does Nikolaj still have any outward insignia that gives him away as a member of the Eyes of Smoke?
Ooh, I can't imagine they would let him keep anything
No,
obvious.
I don't think the marshal would approve of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, just like
just a random question from me, Brendan.
No, yeah, that's fair. I wonder if there's like a small thing that he can keep on him that like isn't, Legion doesn't know all that shit about how the Eyes of Smoke work, so he like has that, and he's just like, well, I still have this as a sort of like, fuck you, especially to the Marshal, because I imagine he does not like him at all.
There's probably also like a phrase, to be honest, like identifying.
Ooh, yeah, oh, absolutely. Gotta have a secret code phrase. Yeah. Yeah, I he's also asking like, okay, down to the bunker and then back up, or is there somewhere here we can leave them? There's just a lot of extra people.
Doesn't answer that, just goes over to the pillar.
He'll follow.
Farzival, I think, doesn't quite know what to do with you, especially given how impressed he is with Lark. Like, hello. Yes, hello. I'm Lieutenant Farzival. This is my squad.
You must be the wizard's friend.
You must be the wizard's friend.
You must be the wizard's apprentice. Yes, there we go. Thank you, Chris.
The wizard's apprentice.
Chris and I simpatico in that.
The
moment.
wizard's baker.
Talking to an actual wizard right now.
Yeah, Nikolaj is like, just, Lark will help us through the way forward. Just do your best you can to follow and remain silent.
The wizard's name is Lark.
Oh.
Nikolaj is like avoiding looking at Lark because he does not want to know how angry she is that he told them that.
Okay.
If at all.
Follow the wizard, Lark.
Quietly.
Boom, 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 boom. That's
Quietly.
the sound of them tiptoeing.
Right.
Oh, okay. I thought one of them was like doing Foley, like Kronk.
Yeah,
Shit.
well, I'm guessing Nikolaj would know how to open this door better than Lark.
Probably.
Yeah, sure. Gonna go up to that there door and open it, probably.
Great.
I got rig. I think that's a rig,
I think
Disused?
would work.
Yeah, what kind of condition is it in?
Bad.
Rig.
Yep, okay.
Yep.
Makes sense. Just like if the Nikolaj does not want to further break this place, there's a degree of that, and also I have nothing in rec.
Yeah, I think rig is rescue standard.
Ooh, okay.
Rescue standard.
I can
I
help.
will.
I'll spend a stress.
Ooh. Sure, thank you. No, I don't have any fine tools. Okay, so I will take that as dice then, because that way I have 2 dice. And that is a number of dice I like. Risky, standard, rig. 6!
6.
Nice.
See, we just need Kris to roll everything.
Look at all these 6s.
Yeah, you got
You
more
have gotten 2 crits
Okay,
today.
yeah, sure.
Can I tell you?
You have crit.
You walk up to the panel like expecting to have to like crack into it or something like that. It just opens.
Mm-hmm. Yes!
It's just like
sick. I was going to say. Good.
As if it was
thank
like
you.
an automatic like sensory apparatus or something like that. It just slides open.
They are wizards.
Is it just like it slides open and also it's like silent, doesn't creak? Like just like nothing in here should be silent because it's all old and broken and busted, but it's just
It's like a stone rumble, but it's like there's so many stone rumbles on account of the fact that there's an enormous grafted like slamming itself against the walls. It is utterly negligible. And it like floods inside with like a little bit of sewage water, but it's big enough that all of you could like cram inside there.
Hell yeah. Yeah, Nikolaj will just, move out of the way for Lark to go first and then follow right after with the lantern. And again, looks at everybody, just like, remember, quiet.
Farzival like looking back and forth, like, are you both wizards?
Just a deep sigh.
Do we want to jump to us being together again?
Yeah. Yeah, let's do
Yeah,
that.
how far do we get to like the landing where there's a passed out Nabane?
Absolutely.
Oh dear.
Well, I don't know. Would you have dragged a passed out Nabane down?
I don't think we had a choice. You said the water.
Oh, sure. Yeah. I like that better. I like that better to keep everyone together.
Yeah.
It's like you dragged him down through the door that Aisling cracked open. Absolutely.
Right.
So, you're inside the vault. The Lyceum itself was stone and stacks of mildewy books and the smell of rot everywhere. The vault is almost its antithesis in every way. It is clean, it is sparse, it is polished to a mirror sheen. You get the sense that whatever this place is, whether it's using some degree of magic or whether it's just a feat of engineering, but it sprawls like a spider web past where the tower of the Lyceum itself actually is, into the earth itself.
I think Nikolaj is just like, if no one stops him, he's just immediately going to just like start going through as much stuff as he can. Like, things.
I think Lark is hovering, but
Books.
letting him do that.
You're in one of the vaults of the Eyes of Smoke. Each of you can give me a free gather information about any topic in the world. And the minimum dice that you can roll is 1d6. Otherwise, it's research.
Okay.
Well, Waloot knows what she wants.
But
But
each gather information will tick the Lyceum destroyed clock by 1, which is currently at 3 of 12.
the way back is probably easier, given that we know at least the route that Aisling and Waloot took is free of astronauts.
I love the idea of astronaut being an insult.
And this place is so sprawling, we could probably find a tunnel that actually has a better exit.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe they have like actual, better plans and schematics of the building down here. That's the one thing worth gathering information on, maybe.
Yeah, fair.
Okay.
I love that. That's a great hack, Kris. Could we do that, Brennan? Could we use one of these gather information rolls to just try to find a better way out so that the end of this is just like a group maneuver?
Yes, that's one weird tip that is not illegal, but I can't stop you from doing.
Cool. I think that should be one of ours then.
Okay, so we got building schematics. Waloot wants to know what?
What she is.
Yeah, star stuff.
What does Nikolaj want to know?
Gosh, I wonder if Nikolaj is concerned that someone here is going to find out that the Eyes of Smoke orchestrated all of this, and wants to keep them from finding that out. Because at that point, they what is stopping them from killing him? Here,
Good point.
So might be looking for that to get rid of. What would he get rid of?
Is that like finding a scapegoat or like?
Ooh, that's fun.
Because
finding someone else to blame it on.
That's interesting because I even to this point I am not sure, and I'm happy for the answer to change about whether or not Nikolaj knows what we know that we set out from the world building episode.
Oh,
Of
At the Eyes of Smoke.
The disaster at the Omniculum was set up
Yeah.
by the Eyes of Smoke. Like, maybe
Oh,
every Eyes
boy.
of Smoke knew that. I don't know if Nikolaj knew that. I'm happy for it to go one way or the
That's
other.
true. Yeah, I was working under the assumption that he knew, but I also like the idea that he didn't, and it being just as much of a
I think it's cool that he did.
surprise. Because
But
yeah,
but it definitely affects like what question he seeks here.
yeah, in a big way. Because I'm trying to figure out whether it's balance between trying to learn something new here or trying to keep anyone from finding out that specifically here, so that he lives another day to find out more stuff.
Well, here's the thing. If you decide
later.
the answer is, what can I do to ensure that I live another day? Then you will find that answer, guaranteed. It is here.
Ooh.
So just hang on to that.
Ashling, did you have any interesting questions you wanted to ask?
If Lark didn't have something to ask, I was probably going to look for the way out. Otherwise, I would try to think of something to ask. Just because I don't think Ashling is as big of a dork as these other ones.
Pah!
These other fellow legionnaires.
Yeah, Ashley's cool.
I've got ideas for questions, but they wouldn't be things that Lark would look up.
Okay. Do you think Lark would want to find a way out, or do you think that should be Ashling's job?
Yeah, I think either one of us could ask that question. But the stuff I wanted to ask about was like, is this the first time that like the Never have ever appeared? Like, was there a time before written history, or like, is there some sort of like really, really old documents of like something exactly like this happening before?
I love this question, but I don't think Ashling would look for the answer for that.
I have a suggestion.
Mm-hmm.
So we just know that it's one per each player character, but this could be any of the characters around, right?
Yeah.
That are here, yeah.
Nabane's obsessed. What if he comes to, sees all of this, like the building rumbling around him, and like is awake long enough to ask Lark to look and see, like, have they been around before, and where did they go? Like, what killed them last time?
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
And then falls back, you know.
Okay. I think. Did we have any other questions we wanted to brainstorm before we commit to these 4?
Yeah, even just players apart from what their characters might be thinking.
Yeah, I think I want to find the way out of here. I'm hungry for the hunt, and the hunt is my prey is not here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good to play to find out everything else.
Okay.
Yeah, I think this is good.
Yeah.
All right. Who goes first?
I think Waloot is going to sneak off for hers, so probably she is not first.
I want to save Waloot's for last.
Yes.
Nice. I mean, I said Nikolaj just started into this place, and he's just like, ugh. So I'm okay to go first. I was going to use research anyway because it's 2d6. Self-preservation, go. Research.
It's a 5.
That's a 5.
Yeah. You get 2 questions. 2 questions. Ask me.
Okay, so one of them is the how does Nikolaj stay alive? What can he do to stay alive?
So let's talk really briefly about like what you know.
Sure.
We know that the Eyes of Smoke, dedicated to the absent god of foresight, determined that what must happen is that the chosen must come together. The constant legion must be reformed, and they must battle against the forces of the Never at the Omniculum of Zur and fall. Does Nikolaj know all of that? Does he know the gist of that?
I wonder if that's what he knows, but he doesn't know what's supposed to come after that.
Uh-huh.
I bet there was some sort of self-justifying to that amongst the Eyes of Smoke people, that like the Legion needed to be fractured into these many parts to like be where it needed to be in the coming times.
Yeah.
It's written, so therefore it must be. It isn't so much like guarding the future as it is like guarding the present, I guess. Like they don't care where they end up as long as it's what is written, right?
To which point, I think there was someone that announced this. We have said already that certain members of the Eyes of Smoke know a lot about certain things or certain places or certain times, and that there is a great deal of plausible deniability about a certain something simply because it wasn't your school of research. But the leader, the one in charge of the Eyes of Smoke, who is, of course, a member of the Senate, must have known. And if anyone is to blame, she is.
Excellent. Is it known that she's a member of the Eyes of Smoke?
Yes.
Okay.
I think
boy.
the Eyes of Smoke were not always, but were very recently elevated to that level once the Never arrived.
The Eyes of Smoke is a pretty ancient order as well, though.
It was, but it was fringe for a very long time. You get a follow-up question, Kris.
Oh boy. Okay. I wonder if it's like if there's like maps or drawings or anything you can take like of the Senate building complex, whatever it is. Right? Like if it was, I mean, this room exists here, and like he might have suspected like, oh yeah, the central column, duh. But then getting to this room is like, oh shit, this is nice. Like what's the Senate hiding? In a physical sense.
Yeah, the answer is yes. And when you get to the Capitol, Nikolaj has that knowledge of the secret places of the Eyes of Smoke that he can choose to share with the Legion or not.
Excellent. Okay.
Who is next?
Maybe Aisling?
Yeah, I'm getting kind of antsy. I want to get out of here. I'm seeing if there's any like whatever the equivalent of the like "you are here" sign is in this place.
Yeah,
I was drinking.
I like this.
Fuck.
Maybe there's like a maybe there is like a map section and there is a map of this place. I don't know. Cool. All right, roll 1d6. We are where? 3.
We are where?
We're nowhere.
Mercy. No, you're here.
Oh dear.
Oh, right. They're gathering information. We get one question anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what is your question here?
What's the quickest way out of here? And explicitly not what's the safest way out of here.
I was about to say, don't you mean? Nope. Okay.
So this place is, unlike the rest of the Grand Lyceum, really well enforced. It is like you were able to get into the places that you were able to get into because they didn't actually lead directly into the bunker. They led into the crumbling library up above. That said, there is a shaft where you are able to like really quickly and easily eject practically like an expeditionary force, like as if they were accounting for the fact that like, all right, if this bunker lasts into the post-apocalypse, we're gonna have to send people out into the radiated future, and this is the way that they go out. And so there is like a one-way elevator at the far end that would allow you to make your way out.
Cool.
Who's next?
I'll go next. If I push myself, would I get 2 dice since I have 0 in research?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd let that happen.
Okay.
You want help instead?
I take help. I have a lot of stress to burn, though. But if Waloot wants to help me,
Waloot has stress plus corruption to burn. So
yeah.
let me take a stress.
What does Waloot helping Lark look like?
I think Waloot was propping Nabane up when Nabane made this request to Lark, and so goes to help. And I think that it's looking through this that Waloot is struck by the notion that she could look for the things she really wants to know.
Okay, I like that.
I'm gonna also push myself.
Okay,
I really want to know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nope.
3d6, 2, 1, 4. You get 2 questions.
First question: has there ever been a time in recorded history where never plagued humanity before?
Let me ask you a question first, which is, why does Lark want to know this?
Why does Lark want to know this?
Because Lark kind of just sort of likes doing missions. Like being good at her job. And I think we could find a way to where Lark wants to know the answer to this question, but I'm interested in that path.
No, I have the answer. It's like, it's part of, so she's a scout and an assassin.
Uh-huh.
You have to know your quarry as an assassin.
Mm.
So maybe it's not necessarily were there ever never before. Maybe it's
Like, were there never before and what killed them that
That's
time?
specifically what Nabane asked.
Oh, okay.
Maybe
bad.
Lark, instead of looking for that directly, looks for, has there ever been times in written history where chosen have been broken before? Where like a god or an external force or something
Ooh.
has overwritten the previous god's choosing? And like, what was the aftermath of that? And maybe this is going to be like an answer that, you know, requires like a narrative, like monologue for the start or the end of this episode. But I guess you could just give us the gist.
There's certainly been like evil chosen, but that's probably not the same, right?
No, I don't think it has.
This is the God particle question.
Well, okay. Before I answer that, here's what I want to do. I want to ask the group as a whole, and I'm open to either answer. And so I want to put this out there. How committed? Because Band of Blades in a default setting is very open to the idea that the gods are like very distant and very mysterious. And in the setting that we have created, we have actively said, oh, the gods are absent. The gods were here and are not here anymore. What I want to ask is, how open are we to the idea that the gods were never there to begin with? Does anyone have like a hard stop on that?
I mean, there is some sort of idea of divinity, but like,
Yes.
is that just coming from like a single, just like font of the cosmos rather than like a being?
Potentially.
I'm not super keen on it.
Okay.
I like
that's enough for me.
I like the gods remaining a question.
Yeah.
I don't want that question ever answered.
Okay, cool. That is enough for me.
Yeah.
Not to cut off Kris and Matthew without having answered.
You're good.
No, it's okay.
The question is whether chosen have ever become broken in the past.
Yeah, like have gods or other eldritch forces ever has a god tried to put its god particles into a chosen that already has god particles?
So, the answer is yes. And the result of that was the Gods' War, where Zel-Sha'el and its people faced someone who proclaimed themselves chosen, who beseeched the gods themselves to be chosen, and met with silence, chose themselves, and rallied a force untold to themselves. commencing the God's War.
And then they siege the capital, but we'll talk about that later.
Uh-huh.
Hasn't.
Do you want to know the person's name?
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
go for it.
Yeah, their actual name was lost, but people remember them as the Kindling Priest.
Cool.
I like that.
Dope.
I get a second question.
You sure do.
How did they fucking kill the Kindling Priest?
I can answer. Well,
Devin, take it away.
yeah. Like,
well, hold on.
This,
The idea is that this should be hidden information,
yeah,
right? And if the lore keeper knows it back at camp,
yeah.
right, we can just ask that person.
well,
Lord
then-
Keeper knows
Back
this whole
camp.
story.
Then
Then
where?
let's ask a different question.
Where's the body of the Kindling Priest?
Oh.
That I do not know.
Interesting.
Yeah, if we get that body
Well-
and we eat it, maybe we can kill
Oh my
it.
This is
how
the
you gain
second
powers.
Forge of the Dark
Maybe-
game where Gavin's encouraged me to eat someone.
Okay, that's not true.
You know what you did.
That someone is also you. So
What?
Anyway, let's keep it moving, folks.
Yeah, let's keep it
maybe
loose.
not actually where the person's buried, but
So here's the trick is that I gave you an answer of someone who wasn't actually broken.
Yeah.
They just sounded like another chosen. So like
Yeah.
that is a useful answer.
This
I
could be a
guess,
thing
but-
though, where like there was a breaking involved in that process somehow, like
No,
by
well-
stealing divinity. Then
Yes.
Well, what I
divinity
imagine
betrayed
is,
them
like,
in a way.
maybe this is our Cinder King. This is somebody who was able to choose themselves and were able to break other chosen by
Yes.
Yeah.
That this is my feeling.
Yeah. It's
It's
Absolutely.
got somatic stuff too.
Yeah.
Kindling Priest,
Yeah.
Cinder
Yeah.
King.
Yeah.
Love that.
There's some potential Eyes of Smoke tie in there that I do not
100%.
like.
yeah, maybe
Great.
their broken all had smoking eyes or something.
So what is your question? Which, to be clear, it could be just the one you just asked. I just wanted to make
I
sure.
don't know. This is probably something Waloot is also interested in, but like, how does we know kind of like that there's rituals and like stuff going on for like how the gods choose.
Mhm.
What's the ritual? Does this have the schematics or the how to choose yourself? Like how the Kindling Priest did it? How do I become a lord in Torchbearer?
No, it doesn't have that. And
Does it have where I could find that information?
oh, that's a good question. I think it has speculation to that effect. Absolutely.
Okay. Is it Skydagger?
It's not Skydagger. Unfortunately, I think the answer is out west,
Shit.
past the Omniculum of Zur, because that's where the Never manifested.
Of course.
I'll give you one more. Give me one more. Come on, make it a good one. Think about Lark, like turning over these pages and being met with like, oh, it's conjectured that so much place to
I don't know.
go.
How do I kill a broken?
Sure. Good. Great. Good. All right. Well, as I've done before, Gavin, what do you think happens when a chosen dies? Like naturally,
Natural?
or even unnaturally?
We've discussed
Yeah,
this,
like,
I think.
They burn out, right?
Yeah. I guess it depends on the god and the circumstance. The Kaimordi's whole thing is like to break them apart into reliquaries.
Yep.
But if like that doesn't happen, I'm guessing they're like radiation poisoning sort of ideas. Like the god particles that are in them sort of leak out.
Devin already
Yeah.
told a story about this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's why Skydagger Keep is a ruin.
Say more about this.
Oh, in the last story I told, there was like a chosen corpse that was stolen from camp, and like they tried to like
Mhm.
keep it up at Skydagger to like protect it from the rest of the Legion, but it like started to like bleed fire as it decomposed.
Yeah. So When a chosen dies, regardless of who chose it or who they were or what they did, what is supposed to happen is the spark of divinity returns to the sky up above.
And there's a ritual to help that happen. But if that ritual isn't done, then it's really dangerous.
When a broken dies, there is nothing there, but instead it consumes whatever is nearby. If a broken is an all-consuming fire, then being flooded fuel might exhaust it. I think that when the priest broke a chosen, it was only brought down with the sacrifice of a whole army, swarming it, dogpiling it, throwing their own lives away to extinguish its flame, the never fire within.
Lark shaking her head, closing the book.
Waloot.
All right. I think that Waloot leaves Lark while she's reading and goes looking on her own. Waloot has 1 tick in research. I'd like to push myself.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to push myself with corruption.
Okay.
I think that Waloot. I think that this is not like a thing that Waloot comes to at first. I think that the reason why Waloot is the last person rolling this is because she's been looking this whole time, and they're starting to call for her to leave.
Yeah, absolutely.
And in that desperation, she calls on this thing, and I think that around her, like a halo of glowing eyes appears. Let's see what she finds. Ha! Perfect.
Oh no!
2d6 1.
Second time tonight.
Snake eyes.
That's not good.
There's never
No, it's
been
great.
anything like Waloot before.
I think, yeah, 100%. Let's go.
Waloot is
let's go.
not a chosen nor a human. Waloot is
Yeah,
a
yeah,
third
yeah.
thing.
Nobody's thought to fuck with this guy except for the astronauts.
I'm game for that all to be true. I think that's a lot of fun.
I mean, I think it is true. I think there's this experience of like opening up an encyclopedia, looking for an entry that you expect to be there. And it's not even not there, but the things that are like before and after it aren't even spelled the same way that you would want them to be spelled.
Yeah.
It's like an absence. It's like a deliberate absence of knowledge. You almost get the sense that they are like deliberately, even here, even in the vault of the Eyes of Smoke, if they do know what Waloot is, then they are deliberately obfuscating it. Or they simply don't know. They simply have no idea what it is that Waloot has gone through. They have absolutely no access to that experience or people like that or subject matter that has even experienced that transformation.
Oh my god. Waloot's not in the prophecy. Like at all.
That's great. Love that. Love that for her.
Very
Also,
good.
maybe Waloot is the only person to ever have been beyond the corpse of this guy.
Uh-huh.
And back.
Yeah. She's the true astronaut.
You get 1 question.
Were the Chosen just bullshitting me? Do they not even know?
You mean Serikali and Udit
Yeah.
specifically?
Whatever conversation you'd had with Waloot.
Right.
Do we focus in here on what Udit said to Waloot? I'm happy for the answer to be no, but I want to ask that.
I mean, I have an idea of like what you'd said.
Go for it.
Yeah, let's have that.
It was something along the lines of, we chosen our weapons. That there are people who make peace, who build institutions, who create. And those people are not us. Our service is to violence, and we are the violence that the farmer cannot withstand themselves.
I I think that Waloot could only respond to that if this was like pulled off on the side, just her and Udet. Given the day she had had when Udet said this, I think she could only respond by saying, "But Serikali made the Senate.
The Serikali's not on the Senate.
So what am I for?"
Now, this is where this is where that question comes in, because Udet's an isolationist at her core. Like, when we get to the capital or whatever, her like goal is going to be gathering up a bunch of Mitzrayim and leaving, becoming a diaspora people again. So I think like this is maybe not clear in that moment, but clear from asking this question that like whatever Udet tells Waloot here is part of her agenda. Is like, you're here to kill as many never as is necessary as it takes to save the humans around us. And like, I think if I could step in here,
of course,
the answer to that question you find is like, to the question you asked Udet is what you find. And it's not, what am I supposed to do? Or the question is, what am I supposed to do? The books say whatever God chooses you has a reason for choosing you. And you are expected to either know or find out what that God's agenda is.
Yeah, that would have been my answer also.
Yeah.
Is that the texts are clear. The chosen of the God of justice enact justice. The chosen of the Lord of song rally the people and protect them. The chosen of the Lord of life defend life and ensure that it prospers.
And that death feeds into new life.
Exactly. And so Udet and Serikali were not necessarily lying, but that Waloot must find her own path, if not in accordance with whatever it was that chose Waloot, but what Waloot feels to be correct.
Waloot stands up, slams the book shut, and says, "This is bullshit," and leaves.
Ashley's waiting around, juggling a knife or something.
Not knowing the context of that outburst, Nikolaj mumbles something about, like, call this bullshit. I'd like very much to see what you think is good. Offended on behalf of the library.
Is there a group maneuver to get out of here?
I think so.
Sure.
I've got 3.
Lark's in charge.
I've got 3 left over.
Waloot is really good at dealing with resistance rolls. Waloot is like built for resistance rolls.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'll tell you this. Oh, fuck. Yeah, she is. Oh, my gosh.
And she has 2 scout.
Let's let Waloot lead. Maybe Lark is like,
I like Waloot leading.
yeah, you think this is bullshit? You get us out of here.
I show Waloot the maps.
I think an earlier Waloot would have, the last mission Waloot would have been deferred and like, immediately apologetic. But like this one's like, no, like, sure, yeah, I'll do it. You all don't know what you're doing. Okay. Let's do it, everybody. Group maneuver.
Group maneuver.
What's the position in
Okay.
effect?
Position effect?
Risk standard.
All right.
That's 1 success already. 2 successes. Total
One
fail.
fail.
Total fail.
Okay.
Our third double one, but it doesn't matter, so
Ooh.
appreciated.
I could give Waloot a
Can
blight
Nikolaj
here.
have tried
No.
to bring some...
Good.
What? Why are you
That'd
doing
be pretty
this?
thematic.
I think it's good. Gavin, why don't you like it? I think it's really thematic.
Oh, because
She can't go on religious missions.
yeah,
but
but
that's
she
it.
can't go on religious missions, and that's kind of like, I'd like for Waloot to be able to go on a religious mission, especially if we're going to be in the capital where a lot of religion takes place.
Yeah, all right. Okay. I'll mark 2 stress. It's fine.
You can mark 1 stress, 1 corruption, right?
Yeah, you can mark 1 and 1.
Yeah, because like getting a blight on the
Sure.
religious mission would be pretty cool.
Correct. Agreed.
And I don't think blights
Oh,
take
man.
you out of the scene.
They do not.
So,
I think we just looked this up.
yeah.
Okay. You find the airlock that leads out. You find the chamber that allows expeditionary forces to head out. You're back. You're like on the fringe of the forest. There is a moment, I think, as you're leaving this place that you see Scourge begin to throw itself against the walls. Something bursts forth from the walls. Something slithering throughout the height of the Lyceum.
Aisling starts to pull like a carbon fiber thread out of their bag and starts uncoiling it as if they're about to hook it to their anchor and go to town.
I think Nabane's back awake by this point and like just puts a hand on your shoulder.
Just turn and look at you with the ferocity of a shark.
Isn't Nabane obsessed?
No, that's Nabane being soft.
Ah, okay.
It has too many legs to be a snake. It unspools itself from within the walls of the Lyceum as they crack apart like an egg. And it spills out and begins biting at Scourge's assembled form. Are there any Archadians on this team?
Maybe a rookie.
There could be a rookie here.
Name a rookie real quick.
Yeah.
Let's see, what are some good names? If you could throw some names at me too, that would work.
Sure. Devin. Con.
No.
Oh, I thought you were saying
Matt.
Dan was the name.
Yeah, Devin.
No.
Chris.
No.
Chris with a Y.
No, that's a knife.
Matt.
Kevin. We just changed the letter.
Kevin.
Ivan.
Ooh, I like
Ivan
that.
is
Ivan, but all the vowels are Y's.
Maybe just the
I
first.
love that.
Well, you got
YVEN.
you got one here
YVYN.
that's-
YVAN.
Oh no, you have it's YYVN.
Wyvern.
Wyvern.
Wyvern. Wyvern is why we are gathered here today.
Oh,
My Wyvern.
Ivan
Maybe just Ivan, but spelled Wyvern.
yeah. And last name is fun.
A terrible thing is about to happen to Yvan.
Born of
Born of Embers.
born
How
of smoke.
Born of Smoke is great.
about Born of Umbra?
Born of
Yeah,
Umber.
that works.
Umber is good. Yeah. As this creature bursts forth from the walls, and its jaws seizes upon whatever counts for a spine in Scourge. Without hesitation, as if a prayer, they say. The worm within the walls. Draknor.
What the fuck is Frank Herbert doing here?
Draknor become a big worm?
Is this some
you
dude
heard about
Messiah
this?
bullshit?
Draknor, big worm.
Draknor's a big worm?
I mean, Draknor, big
How
worm.
many people have chosen themselves? What the fuck?
It doesn't have wings, but for all purposes, a dragon spills out of the temple and begins tearing its way into the Never. OATHSWORN is an actual play podcast created by
Devin Nelson.
Gavin Fregeau.
Kris Allison.
Matthew Guzdial.
and me, Brendan McLeod. All music for the show is created by Devin Nelson. Find it and more at devindecibel.bandcamp.com. Find a link to their music and any of the games that we've played in the podcast description. Follow us at OathSworn Pod on Twitter or OathSworn on co-host. Until next time.